Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, and I welcome both you and your ears to an episode of Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. In case you're wondering who Angie is, I'm Angie, and I'm super stoked to spend some time sharing with y'all some of my experiences and thoughts on living, loving, music, and space travel, or spiritual experiences as I often refer to as space travel. A rather broad spectrum, right? Well, my hope is to always share something that resonates with, intrigues, excites, or perhaps inspires you. On that note, I invite you to sit back, buckle up, and take a little trip out into the cosmos with me. Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, coming to you presently from Orlando, Florida. I've been out of town for a couple days. I had been hoping to get my 14th episode out sometime last week. It was delayed. And so instead, today is Sunday. I feel like maybe it's May 29th, Sunday, just before Memorial Day. And I have just finished up, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days of Podfest 2022. I'm here at the Hilton in Orlando. It's been a pretty overwhelming, fantastic few days. If anyone's not familiar with Podfest, it is, I believe, the largest gathering of podcasters. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been going on. I should know better, and I'm going to learn that, so maybe I can give you out some better information next time. But I was introduced to the whole podcasting idea by my dear friend Alex. I have mentioned his show on my show before. He has The Builder's Journey. He introduced me to the world of podcasting quite a few years ago. I had never heard of a podcast. I didn't know anything about it. I'm generally an old school media junkie. If I've never mentioned that about myself, I'm a tape cassette girl, a vinyl record lover. I can squeeze in some 8 tracks if that works. And although I do love Spotify because I can build my own playlist of all of my favorite songs, I think that's the greatest thing ever. I had never really been much of a streaming media kind of person. So he introduced me to the podcast world via his podcast, and I've kind of been sold ever since. He is also the one who inspired me to begin my own podcast. And although it took a little while, my first foray into the podcasting world was She Podcasts. And that's an all-female, or, everybody, maybe people of the LGBTQ community also. I'm unfamiliar with the term, so please forgive me. Maybe the non-binary community, if I'm not mistaken. But I attended the She Podcast Festival in October in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I did not have a podcast at that time. That was last October. But it really boosted me and inspired me to continue moving forward with mine. And I have since, I released my first episode on, I think, February 27th of 2022. I now have 13 episodes out, and it's just the beginning, I think, of my journey. This festival, conference, whatever you want to call it, is sort of the end of my long, exciting month of music and travel. And this was has been a fantastic way to kind of finish up my traveling, at least my scheduled travel, for a little bit and kick myself off into summer, where I can kind of settle down and maybe just really focus a little bit more intensely on getting some podcast episodes out and putting into action everything I've learned. For anyone who perhaps maybe you're in the podcast world and have not been to a conference such as this, it was spectacular. I'm grateful to kind of have a community where I'm inspired to be authentic, vulnerable, to be Angie. But this podcast is just another avenue for me, another group of people who really inspire everybody. We all inspire each other to be creative, authentic, vulnerable, and creative is really the word. There's people here doing all kinds of things. Some people have podcasts, some people don't. The behind the scenes deal is pretty spectacular. I mean, they put on quite a production. It's a big deal what they've done for the last few days. But I find people with personal podcasts, people who are teaching other people how to do stuff on their podcast, IT podcasts. I mean, there is so much. If you're not familiar with the podcast world, dive into it. There's so much to learn. Somebody is willing to teach you something you're needing to learn, talk about something you need to know. There's something for everybody. Although I may seem kind of loud and friendly and outgoing, all of which I can be at times, I am definitely an introvert of sorts. It's always wonderful to sort of immerse myself in a community, and it's really nice to immerse myself in one that I'm comfortable with. There are plenty of other people here who are uncomfortable socially, perhaps, and yet we can all connect with each other on, I mean, the regular question people are asking is, do you have a podcast? And if so, what is it? And you get to tell your story and talk about your interests and listen to other people tell you about their story and their interests. I mean, I learned the way it's played out is there are breakout sessions and different focuses on audio, let's say audience growth or monetization of your podcast. There was a whole sex focused area, how to talk about the uncomfortable things on your podcast, what's appropriate. There are faith-based, areas. There are specific groups that teach you how to do the marketing side and the editing side. I mean, there's some of everything that anyone in this area might be interested or have questions about. So last night, I met a couple guys, which was very cool. One of them happened to be from my old neck of the woods, Schenectady. He was from. I could hardly believe it when he said, I'm from upstate New York. And I mean, I have found outside of being in upstate New York, I found people who know where the area is more than when I actually lived there. But his name is Anthony, I do believe. And his friend Will, I eventually met also. And they do a YouTube podcast. So it's audio and video, obviously. But one of them, I'm probably going to mistake or mistakenly say it wrong or something like that. But I believe stuck in my mind is Will's, and the Plush Lounge, I think, is Anthony's. And maybe I have so many cards in front of me. Real Wise Productions might be Anthony's business also. And I think if you Google any of that stuff, it'll pop up, especially if you do it on YouTube. And today, actually, this morning, we did a live video, or we went out to the world live. I hung out with them and chatted a little bit, and that just expanded my world in this area. I always like to bring in to my episodes a spiritual focus. That is really what my podcast is about. My hope in helping you to continue to keep forging forward through life's great challenges so as to get to the other side and live your best life, or live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And I've been saying it a lot. This life I'm living these days is not one I would have put together myself. I would have shortchanged myself for fear of doing things differently and looking for some weird sense of comfort. But the truth for me is that I am living a life beyond my wildest dreams. I'm in Orlando. Spent 4 days, met up with my friend Alex. He's here, learning and growing through this conference as well, learning stuff about his podcast, networking, meeting new people. It's really been a great experience connected to personal growth for me, kind of tying back to, I lost myself there and jabbered on, but I'm not always so great in social situations for long periods of time. It's been very cool to sit back, communicate, and connect, and allow myself to use the space that is being provided to me. I met some really great people, some really wonderful people. I'm very grateful to be open and willing to expose myself to what is waiting to present itself to me. Not only did I get the conference side of it, but there's a big pool outside. As I mentioned, I am staying at the Hilton, and there's a big pool with a lazy river. I actually went down today I was going to kind of decompress now that the conference is over, but the pool is packed. So instead, I decided to finally come upstairs and stop putting off my podcast episode because I really want to get one out. I'm trying to stay disciplined in getting an episode out at least every week. I do want to say, because I didn't say it in the beginning, but thank you to all of my listeners. Thank you to my new listeners. I know that some people have popped on and checked it out. I know I'm not necessarily for everybody, but I'm pretty sure my people will find me. You know, I have a message to share, and I like to think that I may possibly help somebody out there through some of my stuff. Getting here, it's been a journey on its own. I was thinking about this idea of traveling light being a theme of the episode. I travel pretty light, I will say. I don't check anything. I don't check luggage. I don't even bring a carry-on that you can put above your head. I take what I can put under my seat, and that's it, so that I have some room to fit in all the t-shirts. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a t-shirt junkie. Been buying t-shirts everywhere and anywhere, and I definitely scored at least 3 while I was here. Podfest specific. I've got my t-shirts, got a little room in my bag, but traveling light not only physically, but mentally. I've had to let go. I'm away from my furry babes. I'm missing them. I'm missing my parents. I'm kind of missing work. I'm kind of missing my Jack Max people, which I'll be back soon enough. But I really have been able to be where my feet are and leave any noise in my head that's not supposed to be with me here in Florida. Leave it back in North Carolina where it's supposed to be. I attended a few sessions that were heavily focused on bringing spirituality into my podcast content, which I really do. And I found I've just been continuing to hear what I need to hear. And I continue to feel validated that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Staying focused on spiritual growth, being authentic, maintaining a level of vulnerability. You know, I have kind of been fearful at times about who's going to hear what I'm talking about. Am I going to hurt somebody's feelings? And I need to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing, my life experience and where I am today. The fact that I made it through everything that I've made it through these past many months really is miraculous. I've been able to talk to quite a few people about my ketamine experience and how it's changed my life and what it's done for me regarding my mental health. Mental health is such an important area to focus, and I don't think we focus on it enough. There's so much stuff going on in the world, tragedies taking place left and right, and I feel like a lot of people want to focus on I don't say black and white for color, but like the black and white part of the issue. Life is very gray, and the mental health area gets skipped over so often. People do terrible things in moments of deep despair and depression and confusion and fear. And if we don't look at that stuff and present people with all of the options that are out there, not just the ones that maybe someone subscribes to, but to give out all the options, it's not fair. So whenever I tell people the name of my podcast, Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel, they're often very intrigued, especially by the space travel piece. And I've had a few people ask me, thinking, are you an astronaut, or did you go to space, or are you doing the Virgin Atlantic thing? None of which I'm doing, but through my use of medicinal ketamine in a medicinal setting with the support of my doctor, as I tell everyone, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. I suggest you go to your doctor, therapist, talk to them about it, see what they think, and then make an educated decision, educate yourself on it. But it's been life-changing, and I get to next month will be my 10th session, and I'm very much looking forward to sitting back, putting on my ketamine Spotify playlist, and taking a trip off of the planet and into outer space for a little bit. My space travel, my spiritual journey. It's really wonderful. And this whole experience that I am in the midst of right now being in this large event, surrounded by a lot of people in a new space, the way I'm feeling it around it is, it's not lost on me that the results of my infusions and what it has helped to do for my mental health, I cannot ignore it. That being said, it's really been wonderful. Today it finished off with a gratitude session. It's always wonderful when things finish off in a place of gratitude, and everybody gave their thanks for the people who put on this production. I don't know everybody's last name, so I'm not going to put it out there. I'll put them all in the show notes, and it's really amazing to think of the things that people put together and the time that they spend on creating something such as wonderful as this. Of course, we're all getting something out of it's got to be worth their time. But this has brought so many people together. It was really cool to see everybody and hear everyone express their gratitude. Some of these people have been coming around for 5 years or however long this has been going on. I feel like maybe it's been since 2014, so maybe 7 years. And there are a lot of people who've been in the podcast world for a long time. So I do highly suggest that if you're a woman, there is a She Podcast conference that's coming up in, I believe, October. It's going to be in the Washington, D.C. area. You can just look up She Podcast, SHEPODCASTS.com maybe even, but you can just Google She Podcast for sure. And that's a great event, definitely, to participate in. Check that out if that's something that might fit into your world. And then Podcast 2023 will be coming in 2023. And dates on that will be coming out eventually. I know this isn't necessarily a long episode. It's a little scrambled and unfocused, which is kind of like me. But I thought I would just put my voice out there and say thank you, really, to everyone that I have met. At some point, I will go back through Real Wise Productions, the Florida Travel Podcast, if I'm not mistaken. Larry King, we met at one of the sessions, and we had some chit-chat last night at the closing party that was very heartfelt. I'm very grateful to have met you. I had the opportunity to listen to a keynote speaker, and I got to chat with him a little bit, Christoph Zajac Dene, I'm probably really messing up that name, but he has a podcast called I'm Kind of a Big Deal. Little people, huge stories. He is a little person who's incredibly inspiring, and I highly suggest checking out his podcast. Chewing the Fat with Big Rob. That was another one. Positivity and Mental Health podcast. I love that there are so many people out there trying to spread the word on mental health, which just goes to show that mental health is a big deal. It's not just about fixing problems or thinking that it's one particular thing and that this outside source needs to go away. It all starts within. I think it's Ram Dass, and I am going to paraphrase, but he says, the best way for me to help you is by helping me. I can't put it out. I can't put it off. I can't say if you would just take care of yourself, I'll feel better or things will be better. When I put the focus on me, take it off of you. Put it on me and start to work on my stuff. What can I do to help myself? And it's not selfish. It's not just about forgetting. It's about caring for myself so that I can even be more capable of caring for you. It really does start with me. If we were all doing that, imagine that. If we were all working on ourselves, the world would be so different. Things would be changing at lightning speed. So think about that. I did pick up this card. I'm not really sure. Alicia Landry, The Amazing Gato. I have just been picking up these, cards. Uncle Marv's IT Business Podcast. Marvin B. Being the Artist. There's something. Who else have I got here? Jimmy Jim's Reinvention Revolution Podcast. Jim's Reinvention Revolution Podcast. I'm also sitting here with my contacts in, and I can't read close up, so I'm definitely butchering some of these names. But Kim Peek, co-founder of Iris Digital Media Group. Maybe some of you listening have heard of these people. Oh, and really one of the greatest, I went to a session with, it's called The Anatomy of Us. And they were a great couple, marriage and family therapists, high performance coaches, motivational speakers, Seth and Melanie Studley. I chatted with Melanie last night at the party. I had a really wonderful conversation with her, and I appreciate her for being vulnerable enough to share herself with me. That's what this was like. A bunch of people that are my people. I don't know that there's enough of that. It's beautiful to be vulnerable. Unfortunately, some people can make it very difficult if you're not in the right space, but that's not your stuff, that's their stuff. People are, I'll say, we're sick, we're soul sick, we're spiritually sick, we're mentally sick, and one's got to get out of that ego that says, oh no, not me. Yeah, you, all of us. The world is in a very challenged place. So reach out, ask for help. Listen to some of my prior podcasts on self-care and self-imposed pressure, the things we do. And ultimately, try and roll with the punches. Anthony said something about that today. Roll with the punches. Even if it hurts, I got to roll through it to get to the other side. Personal growth is where it's at. Not blaming others. I can't save everybody. I can't fix the world. But I can fix myself, and we all need fixing. If that means take a trip, if it means detach from media, the news. I mean, I know some people watch the news and feel like it's super necessary. There are some things that I cannot fix. So my watching them doesn't mean I don't know what's going on, but it means it doesn't make me sick. And I am going to say, it's not political, but I've seen a lot of stuff lately that's kind of been given thoughts and prayers a bad rap. And I call super bullshit on that. Yeah, the world does need change. There's a lot of stuff that needs fixing. But prayer and thoughts are something that are always available for all these people that I can't reach, for all these people that I can't touch. There is something I can do, legit. Think about them and pray for them and send out all the good vibes that I can. So please do not give up on thoughts and prayers. Don't fall into the cancel culture behind thoughts and prayers, because to me that's like spiritual warfare, surely in action. Trying to make you think that stuff doesn't matter when that's the most available thing that can be done all time, all day, anywhere, from your office space, at night when you're in bed, from the dinner table, everything. And that does matter. I do believe on that note, I'm going to close it out. Podfest 2022 in Orlando, Florida. Thank you. Thank you for providing me with 4 days of knowledge and fellowship. It's been wonderful. It's really been wonderful. And giving me an excuse to go to Florida and finish out the spring before I dive into the deep summer of slinging seafood at Jack Mack's and Curry Beach. I am definitely kind of looking forward to settling down and focusing a little bit and seeing how life plays out. Kind of getting deeper, as I mentioned, into the podcast stuff, putting everything I've learned into action, implementing at least a few things right away, because I do have a lot to learn. Remember, be authentic. Find a place where you can be vulnerable. Find your people. Be gentle with yourselves. Let your creativity flow. Make time for play. The world is heavy. Things can get pretty dark. It can be very easy to get sidetracked and lose focus of the fact that this earthly experience is short. It's brief. It goes by in a second, really, ultimately. And you never know. You never know when it's your turn to transition. I myself, I think, even the transition, it's inevitable. No one here gets out alive. And Jim Morrison say that, or somebody, nobody here gets out alive. people talk about heaven and all that stuff. So I'm not afraid of the next part of the journey. But while I'm here, I want to be here. And I would love that for the rest of you. While we're here, make use of this time. Give purpose to the pain. Find purpose in the pain. I don't know what it looks like. Get closer to your family today, not tomorrow, but today. So when I close out this podcast, I'm going to make some phone calls and let the people that I love know that I love them. Let the people that I care about know that I care about them. And live today. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye. So we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks so very much for listening. It's now time to reconnect to planet Earth and all that comes with living on the blue ball. I'd love to hear your ideas for future episode topics, along with any and all positive and or constructive feedback. Please feel free to contact me at ashysbadass@gmail.com. Thanks again for spending some time with me and allowing me to share myself with you. Until next time, please be gentle with yourselves, be kind to animals, and do all you can to allow your authentic selves to shine brightly.